Okay, last night I pickled my first 2 cucumbers. This is a pint jar. It actually worked out better. I was going to buy quart jars, but my stock pot, it basically works out better with these slightly smaller jars. It's about half of one of the cucumbers. They're big when they grow up, so I'm gonna just set this back here and I'll pick it up when I get home. So I'm kind of anxious to try it. One of my neighbors over here, one of the 2 new neighbors that moved in right around the same time, was arguing, and you could hear them throwing stuff and just being totally uncivilized. Probably gonna get evicted if the landlord finds out. Figured we'd take a different route to the library today. It's actually a little bit longer one, but not excessively so, just a couple of blocks. So yesterday, went up to one of the employment offices because I sent them my information online. I had called them once and they basically said, yeah, you got to come in sometime. So I did, and I got the same bored employee at the front desk that I had talked to a week or so ago. And I was like, everybody's out to lunch right now. And at 12:30, yeah, I kind of expected that I might have to wait a little bit. I got there a little later than I planned on. And then she said, and after that, we're closed because we have our annual meeting today. And I just wanted to... The problem is that it's a national company, but all the sites are local. So there's nothing on the website about, hey, we're going to be closed half the day, even though everything else we're going to put on our website indicates these are our hours. So I wasn't real happy with that. This is the mini Hartman school that has been converted into apartments. Right somewhere in this area, when I was metal detecting before it was sold and still property of IPS, I found a bronze star, which I did a short video of. Posted that right around Memorial Day. But anyway, when they built the apartments, they've added on to the building. And personally, if I was going to move into a converted school, I would want to be in the school section and not the added on section. But that's just me. Really nice plant there in their yard. And while I was out yesterday, I was originally planning on going to Walmart and had a change of plans. Ended up going to Target to do my reaction on why I quit the weight loss doctor, and I'm back on the bicycle. Hint, polar bear fell. And I actually had a lot more of the video clips at Target, but for some reason my editing software wouldn't merge it. I kept cutting down, and it wasn't a space issue, even though it insists on storing the videos it edits on my phone. It won't let me save them onto my like 60 gig SD card. So I only have like 6 gig to play with, and I have to pretty much delete all my merged videos. And, you know, if I'm over the limit, it will tell me. But I wasn't getting any messages. It would just go, I'd click the button and nothing would happen, and restarted the phone, shut the phone off for a few minutes, tried again, cleared the cookies. So I basically had to cut it down to the very, very, very bare minimum, which ended up being just under 10 minutes. I probably had probably 35 to 40 minutes total, some of which I had already cut out before deciding to merge it. Because there was stuff in there just, don't need this, don't need that. And I also filmed more of my day. But the trip to Express ended up being a waste of time. As I said, they did call me back today, and I've got an appointment to go back up there Monday. I could have done it they gave me the option of today or Monday, and I've got other things I need to do today after I go to the library, and so anyway, it just wasn't a good fit for today. Monday will be better anyway. This morning I re-listened to Amberlynn Reid's psychiatry update, buying a house, etc. video. And now I'm kind of glad that I wasn't able to merge my comment on that into the Target video, because I have a slightly different opinion. And the way, originally I said, they shouldn't buy a house because basically it's a legal nightmare when unmarried people buy a house and break up. And that's true if you're a heterosexual couple, homosexual couple, or siblings buying property. And probably siblings is the worst of the three. Or two. But when I listened to it today, it sounded like Amberlynn said, and it's a noisy video, or audio, because the place I was at was blasting music pretty hard. It sounded like he said they wanted to buy it Becky wanted to buy it so they could see inside of it. And I think what she meant to say, or should have said, was, we want to go pose as buyers so we can see it and waste the real estate agent's time. So apparently none of them know that pretty much every real estate office in the country today has photographs of the interior of the houses online. And yes, I do know people who have gone to houses that were for sale just to see the inside of them. Although usually, I won't say usually, I'll say about half of the people I know who've done that have gone to the open house. I did do my live weigh-in at Target. Down another 4 pounds in a week. Just amazed by that, or just over a week, under a week. I haven't got to look at what day I weighed in last week. Might have been Wednesday, but would you call it a week? Simply amazed by that. I had said when I stayed at around or below 199 for a couple weeks, I'd set a new weight goal. And when I started deciding to lose weight back in April, shortly after I got onto the Amberlynn Reid merry-go-round, I wanted to be below 200 by my birthday, which is in the latter half of September. And now my goal is 185 by my birthday, because I really wanted to lose weight slowly, because I think you have better long-term results that way. Do not know why this car's still sitting here. That's parked. It's had the right of way. This is one of the Wheeler missions. This one serves basically women and children. The men's shelter is downtown. Founded 1922 Liberty Hall. This building has some history. And these seats up here at the bus stop. As you can tell, they are from a sports stadium. And they were from the old Bush Stadium, which was where they filmed A League of Our Own. And was the home to the Indianapolis Indians, our minor league baseball team. They've got a brand new shiny stadium downtown. When I say new, it's about 20 years old now. But the other one was about 80 years old when they built the new stadium. And honestly, the old stadium had much more character. But it was in pretty bad shape. And after they moved out of there was a racetrack installed. And that was there for a handful of years. And then they converted the facilities into apartments. And a coworker at my last job actually lived in those apartments when he first moved into the area. He said, not local, not a baseball fan, so I didn't appreciate the history that was in my apartment. Hold on a second. Hey, baby. But yeah, I would have loved to go in and see some of those apartments, although I'm sure heating would be ungodly expensive, because I think he said the ceilings in his apartment were like 12 feet high. I think he had one of the upstairs apartments, because he mentioned his ceiling being part of the roof. Don't get down this way too often. The last time I did, I picked up one of the frames for one of those temporary signs that was laying about that I've used to make the cage for my German Queen tomato. Seems like I said so much yesterday, I don't want to repeat myself, but I haven't posted that video, so I may repeat and ramble on some more. This is Michigan Street. And my last apartment was on the west side on Michigan Street. The 3 bus that goes by my apartment goes eastbound, and this is the westbound section on this side of town. Michigan Street, where I used to live, is two-way. And I really kind of liked it there as far as the bus stop, because it was a two-way street. The bus stop was literally at my front door. I mean, I could roll out of bed and be at the bus stop, so to speak. Okay, very slight exaggeration, but not much.
A little bit more on Amberlynn Reid's why she quit the weight loss. No. I'm back on the bike again. Obviously, I think we all know, since her videos are somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks behind, she's already fallen off that bicycle. And of course, she gave herself an excuse not to weigh in every day. Of course, I think she knew at that time she'd be out of town. So she said, unless I'm out of town. Yeah, bariatric scales are a little bit bigger than the standard bathroom scale, but they're not that much bigger. They would fit in the car. So she was just giving herself one out. You know, one day she loves Weight Watchers, and the next day she hates it because it doesn't teach you long-term success. And the next day she loves it because this is a diet I can have ice cream on. Yeah, it's more points, but that's because they want you to choose the healthier options. And I don't think she's ever eaten one serving of ice cream in her life. Matter of fact, there's a Chinese buffet I've been to a couple of times. And after I go back to work, I plan on going there again and having a massive pig out. Well, probably. Actually, I don't eat as much as at the Chinese buffets as I used to. Mainly because I figured out, you know, people go to the buffets and they load their plate up with everything in sight. And by the time you get to that plate, half it's cold anyway. So I switched to a much lighter plate where the food would still be hot or cold by the time I finished it. And I find that because you're eating more slowly, you get full on less food. But the whole point of what I was going to say here is that this particular Chinese restaurant, they've got ice cream, and it's hard ice cream, not the soft serve that's at most of them, and they have them already pre-portioned into these little ice cream dishes, little chrome ice cream dishes. Which is one reason I like going there, because they've already done the work of making a serving out for me on the ice cream, so I don't have to worry about getting too much. Actually diverted this way because I wanted to see the hours for this church. Do have a really nice flower garden here. which is reason enough to divert here. I am Catholic, but I'm a little bit lapsed at the moment, and my soul needs confession. Nice parish office. Really nice stained glass. My first apartment, there was a stained glass studio. Okay, nothing there. At the bottom of the building, and I used to go in and talk to the owner all the time. Occasionally help him with stuff. Okay, I'll just go look this up at the library. Actually, when I moved over here, I went online to see which parish I was in. And they've got maps online for that, but they didn't include enough cross streets for me to tell. So I emailed them, and they basically said, look it up online. It's like, yeah, I explained to you. I tried to, so that kind of honked me off a little bit. But I wasn't in a great place of mind at that time. I'd just been through a house fire, and it'd just been another turmoil in my life. So I went through several in a fairly short period of time. I think things have finally stabilized. I can just get back to work, it'll be 100% stabilized. I did find it interesting on her psych video, house buying video, that she said that the psychiatrist was doubling her prescription that day, and she wanted Amberlynn Reid to triple it in another 2 weeks. Now, I don't have a lot of personal experience with psychotropic drugs, but I do know that they can be dangerous and tricky, and I can't imagine the doctor saying that without evaluating her after another couple of weeks. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm sure there's more people out there with better experience. You know, my dentist used to, would prescribe me 1 Valium before appointments, because I would be really, really nervous, and I was on a very, very low dose of a different antidepressant for non-mental health reasons. But I've also had a sister-in-law who was put on an antidepressant, and she can't get off of it now. And there have been attempts at it, both supervised and unsupervised, and yeah, so she's basically stuck on that for life right now. So I'm not a big fan of just willy-nilly getting a prescription for depression. You know, if you know it's a short-term situation, and I know depression is classified after 2 weeks, but yeah, I've seen a few too many long-term problems that I'd rather suffer out a short-term depression. But that's just me. It is a really nice day today. I did notice yesterday, and I think this is actually in the video I'll be posting from Target, that Amberlynn Reid has lost subs after she posted the "I'm quitting my weight loss doctor" video. And it was 3,700 about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, or 1,600. I really do prefer 24-hour time. It's much more accurate. And the only way I was able to come up with anywhere near 720 calories a day and 4,600 milligrams of sodium was a 400 calorie, 600 milligram of sodium frozen dinner, like she was prescribed or supposedly subscribed. 13 to 16 servings of salsa at 10 calories a serving, 250 milligrams of sodium a serving, and the rest, about 5 to 6 servings of broccoli, which I think had 4